Okay, so thank you for bringing that up, Nia, because so there's like it's a new rule with Insight Timer that I was unaware of, and essentially they do not allow um, there to be less than 48 hours to prepare for an event, even if there is a challenge happening. So they are not letting me schedule a class for tomorrow, which is fine. You know, I was gonna roll with it. So we will be doing another class literally on Sunday. So today's day 7, and then there'll be essentially a pause for tomorrow, and then day 8 will start on Sunday. But in the Lotus Living group, I do have where you can practice the True Thankfulness EFT for tomorrow, so you don't lose momentum. So literally, you can hop in there and do it with the group there as well. And I'll also be joining in via the group since I can't host a class. But now that I know that, best believe that for the rest of the time being, everything will be consecutive. Good morning. Alexa, stop, please. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, for future reference, I now know that there's a 48-hour rule, so I will make sure to adhere to that, okay? Okay, let me read through the comments. Good morning, good morning. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Amy. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning, Nia, Donovan, Amazon, Kirsten, Rahana, Christine, TJ. Hey. Oh my goodness. The Lotus Living group. No, it won't be a live session because apparently if I did a live session for Saturday, it would be way later on in the day because when I got around to uploading everything, it was about the afternoon and I wanted to keep the consistency with the time. But if you guys are open to doing like a later session, like something in the evening for Saturday, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do it because it's less than 48 hours now. Yeah, I'm still learning all day. They just upgraded like a whole bunch of different new rules for lives. So I'm not able to get book references anymore, or website references, um, which is, you know, it's fine. We'll figure it out. But again, please join the link in my bio as a teacher profile so that way I can just give you guys the information. So I stay in guideline for Insight Timer so they don't ban my page. But also so that you guys still get the things that you need. Because I mean, by it's natural for me to reference things outside of this platform. I'm gonna do my best to be more mindful, but please join the email list just to be safe on that end, just in case, because I'm still gonna give references, and I'm hoping that they don't hold it against me. But I think that that's important. Yeah. Okay, the Lotus Living group is on my page, and I'm trying to see if my other phone is connected. Because then I could, oh, my other phone is dead. Let me actually charge this because we'll need this for today. Yeah, it's literally, if you go to my page as a teacher profile, it's the only group that I have, and it's called Lotus Living. I try to make it easy for everyone to find. But yeah, the rules are very structured, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing what they're asking me to do, because then I won't be able to have access to hold space for y'all, and that's important. So I'm going to do my best, but please make sure you guys join the email list just in case. Yes, my page on Insight Timer has the group as a teacher. Good morning, Dahlia. Good morning, Samantha. How are you? Hi, Ren. Hi, Mel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, Heather, good morning. Bookwork. I know. I was actually really surprised, and I didn't realize that the book recommendation thing was an issue until I was uploading yesterday for the upcoming week, and I'm reading it, and I'm like, when did we do this? Why can't I refer books? Especially because I know that certain people host like classes based off of books that are not on the platform. So I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's a newer rule, but yeah, I don't know. I wish I could give you guys yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I was really surprised that I'm not able to do that anymore, but I can't help but reference things. So I'm just hoping that if they are monitoring the lives, that they'll see, like, I really am doing my best. But also, I feel like if there's a book that's going to help you with the topic that we're speaking about, I'm going to reference the book. And hopefully it's not held against me. Okay, let me check. That's fine, TJ. Please, like, and just tune in. Just tune in, okay? Like, I'm just happy that you showed up and showed here, and please be safe on the road, okay? That's super important. Okay, making sure I said good hello to everyone. Page on Insight Timer, correct. Grand Rising. Lotus in the Collective. Hi, Gloria. How are you? Is it just about promoting a book the teacher writes? If I'm assuming, I honestly don't know. It just said no outside platforms, no books, no links, no websites. Anything that has nothing to do with Insight Timer is not supposed to be spoken about at all. So the only thing I can reference is the link in my bio, because it's been approved by Insight Timer to be in my bio. So you can go there, and I switched it to my email list so that way I can be able to send you guys more things, because I can't send links in the group chat that we have on Insight Timer either. It's against rules. And I'm a very like link kind of girl. Like I'd rather just send you a link so you can grab whatever it is that you need. So this is my way of still adhering to the rules and respecting the space that they've cultivated, but also making sure that I'm able to give y'all what it is that you need for your wellness journey. So I'm finding a bit of a harmony there. But I just want to be very upfront and open about that, because if you see that I'm referencing less, I'm still going to give you those things in the email. Okay, hopefully that works. um, Yes, exactly, Amazon. Yeah, I don't want to lose you all either. So I'm just going to, do my best. I am a bit of a rule breaker, honestly, but for the sake of holding space, I will adhere because I understand where they're coming from. I just want to make sure that the space is not, it can become very spammy and promotional driven if I guess a lot of teachers are focused on maybe connecting outside of this, which I get. I'm not built that way, but I understand where they're coming from. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Rahel, how are you? Okay, beautiful. Let me pull up the notes for today. I'm so excited. And then, oh my goodness, next week will be halfway through the 28 days. I was just thinking about it yesterday, and I'm like, this is so awesome. I'm so excited that we are really doing it. Like, this is, and to be quite honest, it will be the furthest I've gone on my own in a very long time. I used to do this every quarter, and then after a while, it just didn't feel the same doing it. And yeah, this will be probably my first time completing 28 days in maybe like a year, which is a while to think about. But I'm so happy I get to do it with y'all. So it just makes it all the more better. Okay, and I also have notes too on something else I want to talk about. Very strange, lots of teachers talking. I know, which I think is great, but I'm assuming that that might be the reason why. But also, it's like I feel if it's a reference and it's in alignment with what we're talking about. It's not just like I'm hopping on Insight Time to tell you guys about my podcast and you know what I mean. Like if it's reference to the topic itself and it's going to allow you guys to gain more insight. I'm just hoping that they are just taking that into consideration, like it's more of like the goodness of my heart, not me trying to be like creepy, spammy, you know, um, preying on people type thing. So I'm hoping that they'll see it and be like, oh, that's just Lotus. That's just how she is, and not like, girl, why are you promoting yourself like crazy? Like, hopefully they'll see my truth. Um, that's really all I can do is hope. Everything else is up to them. This is their platform. Okay, let me make sure. Good morning, Terry. How are you? I'm all good. Have a bit headache. Oh, headache. Ooh, you know what? I have a headache too, right now as we speak. I know I get headaches because of the full moon, and we have our full moon in Sag. So I don't know if that is something that you are connected to as well. Me and the moon are very in tune, which I appreciate, but sometimes, the headaches are a lot. So I have a big thing of water that I will be sipping on today. I didn't even do any tea this morning to be safe. Good morning, good morning. This practice has been such a blessing. Oh, Michelle, I'm so happy to hear this. Yes, and for anyone that tuned in late, I'll also remind you at the end as well. Um, Tomorrow's class is not going to be live. I am going to jump in the Lotus Living group and do the True Thankfulness EFT with you all. But because it wasn't 48 hours in advance, they didn't let me do it for Saturday. But now that I know that, it'll be continuous throughout the rest of the time together. I didn't know it was a 48-hour rule. I thought it was 24 hours. But it's okay. We live and we learn. So I did everything. So day 8 was supposed to happen tomorrow, but it will be happening on Sunday. So Sunday will be day 8. But if we want to keep up the momentum, you can join me in the chat at the same time tomorrow, and we'll just tap on the True Thankfulness EFT to keep the energy of gratitude in our day. Okay? Yay! Oh, I'm so happy to hear this. I'm so happy to hear this. Okay, let's jump into today's topic, and it is the magical way out of negativity. Okay, so I was really excited about today as well because this was a very pivotal point in the practice when I was doing it before of learning to look at things that we consider negative, and finding that silver lining. We talked about this, I want to say, either on day 1 or day 2, just in like passing by in conversation. Um, or we also touched on it too on day 4 as well, right? And talking about the fact that sometimes things are not going to go our way. They're not going to go as planned. And we're going to experience contrast in life, right? And what that means is that we aren't going to always be satisfied or happy with the experience, but it's really important to find a way to be grateful for it. Because even the most heaviest of things provide some type of goodness in life, right? Nothing is just purely bad. And I've learned that just by hearing other people's stories of different tragedies and then seeing how they've come out of these tragedies with a softer heart or more empathy or honestly more motivation to get themselves out of a circumstance that they happen to be in, right? And I think that that's really important. And I know that in the wellness community, it can be a little weird because it kind of turns into toxic positivity, where you're like spiritually bypassing hard things in life, and that's not the goal of today, and that's not something I would ever personally promote because things happen in life. But I do believe that things happen in life for a reason. Okay, as someone who has lived through a lot of personal tragedies, a lot of grief, a lot of heartache, I I personally believe that they've all attributed to me being a kind of person. They also led me to be on this path of being, a wellness professional because I realized that wow, I can't be the only person that's having these experiences. And if that's the case, then I really want to make sure that we have some resources or community or like at least someone knows that they're not alone. I wouldn't have had that type of passion or drive had I not gone through the tragedies that I had to experience in life. And that's the baseline, the understanding of the magical way out of negativity. Is understanding that though there are negative things in life, you don't have to remain stuck in them at all. That you are allowed to move through them, right? Negativity is also just a form of energy. So once it shows up, really and truly, it's asking of you to pay attention, right? Let me check. I have work. Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. See, everything, again, something that would feel like a tragedy to me of like, oh my gosh, I can't be consistent because I forgot that there was a 48-hour rule. I thought it was 24 hours. And it works out perfectly for Michelle. Like, you see what I mean? Like, I'm happy to hear that because I don't want you to miss out on anything either. Yes, yeah, right? And I was like, you know what? In the end, maybe that's a good thing that we have like a little bit of a day break. I don't want to overwhelm anybody with like the back to back to back. And like, if it's something that we're into, then maybe we'll just do that every Saturday. But of course, you'll have to let me know if that's something that you want, and we'll talk about that closer to the time frame because you might not want to do that next Saturday, and I'm fine with either one, right? Um, I ended up not being scheduled for work for the half of my semester, and I was having a hard time with that. Oh, wow. As it turned out, my kid has about 25 performances in June, so I'm available to support them. Universe sends a, yes! Universe sent me a big message. You never really know, right? And because we have this it's so interesting because it's like it's detailed, but it's not detailed. The way we view life, like how things are supposed to happen. A lot of times we're basing tomorrow off of what happened yesterday, right? And when you're talking about manifesting, you don't want to do that. You don't want it to be where you are focusing on the past to present your future, right? And I do feel like sometimes contrast comes up in that way. And I want to explain contrast really quickly for those that may not know what it is and what it means. So contrast is a terminology I first heard through Abraham Hicks. And what they said about it is that when life presents you things that are not in alignment, it's to ask for clarification. So that's what contrast really is. That's what negativity really is. It's saying, hey, some way, somehow, you invited this type of energy or this situation into your life. And I don't mean this in the way of people who have been, sexually assaulted or people who have been physically harmed, right? Because that is not something you're like consciously saying, oh yeah, let me have that experience. No, we're not talking about that at all. I'm talking about things that feel negative in your life that you have some type of influence over, right? So I want to be very clear on that. This is not to be insensitive to anyone who's gone through a tragedy. So with contrast, it's saying, hey, this thing has come up in your life. Do you want to continue having this experience? So you have the contrast to say, oh, you know what? I actually don't like this at all, like whatsoever. I'm not into this. And then you have this invitation to refocus your energy. But what people tend to do with contrast is that it comes up and they think, oh, this always happens to me. And then they assign their identity and their energy to the contrast, and then they receive more of the contrast. It's kind of like the people that say, like, oh, I always have bad luck, or, I can never find a parking space, or, I never get the job that I want. You're probably witnessing contrast, and instead of addressing it and saying, you know what, thank you for showing me that I do like to have princess parking. Thank you for reminding me that that's something that I'm into. Then you can reassign your energy to what is that you do want. But quite often we get stuck in the negativity, and then that presents us a life that we don't enjoy. And then we think that life is not enjoyable, and it creates this really damaging cycle. And when you start to get into that frequency of energy, you start to attract things and be placed in situations that you would never ever consciously want to be in at all, right? And it's something just to keep in mind. Contrast is not a bad thing. It's just simply a way to clarify with the universe, source, energy, whoever you call on to, what it is you do and do not want. So some things I want to touch on really quickly. Sometimes we thank God for unanswered prayers. Exactly, Pamela. Reading Tara Bratch last night, it doesn't matter what's happening. What matters is how we are relating to our experience. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I really am into princess parking, even though I do not drive. But for my sister, I'm like, let's get you to the front. Okay? But yes, that's so important. How are you relating to the experiences that show up in your life? Right? Are you identifying with them? Are you saying, oh, I'm going to take this on and make this a part of me? That's not what the universe wants you to do when contrast comes up. But somehow, as a society and as a culture, we've decided like that's what happens, right? We'll just be like, oh, they're so clumsy. When in fact, like that's not a thing, right? Like really and truly, it's just like it might be you need to move a little slower and watch where you're walking, right? It might be an invitation to slow down and be more present. Maybe you are moving too fast. And that clumsiness, which we think is just like their balance is off, is really the universe saying, hey, you're actually out of alignment with the things that you do want. Your balance energetically is off. So if we could kind of tune back in so that you stop tripping over things. If you're tripping over things in real life, you're tripping over things in your head as well and in your energy, 100%. Like firm believer of that. Once I understood that that's what the universe was asking of me, I was no longer a clumsy person. And I was just like, oh, you're telling me to slow down. So if I like stub my toe, if I trip over something, I'm not being present enough. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you for the invitation to slow down. I appreciate that. And when you can start to build that type of mindset around life and the things that happen, negative things don't have that type of handle on you anymore, right? It's not as detrimental. It's a way for you to be able to move forward and know that you want something that's better for you, right? And quite often what I've found too is that when we hold on to things a little too long, especially when we keep getting a nudge or we keep getting insights to move forward or to move on from a situation, an environment, a workplace, a place that we live, wherever it is that we're attached to, and we hold on to it, and there's more for us, the universe will, step up and, be like, actually, no, right? Like, you don't need this. I've asked you a few times. You've ignored all my signs and all of my invitations, and there's a calling on your heart. I need you to get to this next place so that we can continue the unfolding of your life. So there's a little saying that I say, and it's funny, but it's true. But it's like you can go along with the universe or you can get dragged by it. But either way, you're going, right? Like either way, you're going to move forward. I personally have learned that I don't enjoy being dragged by the universe. It's not a pleasant experience for me personally. I prefer to be in tune, to listen to the nudges so that I do not get dragged because I am too sensitive. I'm too delicate at my age and what I've gone through. I just much rather tune in and listen and be like, okay, you're saying this. And that doesn't mean that I'm not hard headed because I still am, but I'm way more open to the fact that the universe is trying to tell me something as opposed to just being completely ignorant of it. Right? Let's see. Hi, Rosemary. Hi. Yes, go with the flow. It's better. You don't have to always. And I feel like it's interesting because society kind of teaches us that it's important to go against the stream, right? But like sometimes it's okay to go with the stream. It's okay to go with the flow, with the universal flow, with the, the God consciousness, because it's going to lead you somewhere you need to be. Maybe not go with the flow of society, right? Not agreeing to things that we know are definitely wrong to be agreeing with, right? But it's very much, let me sit on this and see where I need to go, right? So from the book that I was reading, again, this was already pre-planned, so. But from Soul Currency, they were actually talking about what negative thinking is. And negative thinking is pessimism, right? Which is a counterfeit belief. So he talks a lot about these different things that we believe in, like separation, like anxiety, like negative thinking, and how these all just literally are counterfeit. They're not even real beliefs to have because ultimately everything does work in your favor, right? So one of the points that was made is that negative thinking is the illusion of control, right? Pessimism is the illusion of control. It makes you believe that you have concern or that you're being a realist or analytical when in fact it creates a mindset of separation, distrust, and powerlessness. When you are operating from a negative mindset, you do not trust yourself. You do not trust God, source, universe, whatever you call on to. You don't trust other people. You're going to start to feel isolated, right? And what ends up happening is that our ego comes into play and it's just like, oh, I gotta defend you because I don't want you out here getting harmed or being hurt, right? And then all of a sudden you're operating from this place of ego and you're not able to connect to the energy of love, to connect to the energy of bliss or abundance because that's not the same frequency, right? And then you start to, again, brain chemistry, your brain starts to validate what you're feeling. So if you're feeling like nothing goes your way, if you're feeling like it's always a hard day at work, if you're feeling like I can never get along with this person, if you're feeling like there are never opportunities for me, your brain is going to prove you right. And you create this very unnecessary cycle of negative thinking and it keeps you stuck. Negativity is a way to keep you stagnant. It does not allow you to move forward. It does not allow you to breathe. It does not allow you to evolve. It literally says it's dangerous to do anything that is unfamiliar. It is dangerous to go out into the world and there's all these uncertain variables. Because the truth is you do not have control over any of them. The only thing you actually have some type of influence over, and I won't even say control because that's a very intense word, you have influence over how you can respond, how you can interpret and perceive things, right? There's where your influence and your power lies. But if you're thinking from a negative lens all the time, you don't even believe that you have that type of influence, that you have that type of power to wield. And it just ends up being such an unpleasant life to live. It also is a clear sign that you are lacking gratitude, right? And it's the reason why it can feel good for some of us because it has this rooted belief that goodness cannot last forever and eventually the other shoe will drop. That's also negative thinking, right? Of like, oh, things are going too good, something bad has to happen, we have to level out. And it's like, well, why does that mean that? Why do we think that something bad has to happen because something good has happened? Where did we learn that belief from? We probably learned it from someone who was probably thinking negatively and has done it for a very long time and has proven themselves to be correct. It does not mean that that's true. There is no other shoe. You're just living your life. Like, just allow yourself to do that. Allow it to be good. And the truth is, when you start feeling that discomfort of like the other shoes dropping, what that actually means is that your energetic container, you're brushing up against that container that you've built, right? And we've talked about this before. Like, everyone has that happiness baseline. Some of us are lower than others. Like, mine was really low, and I had to rebuild mine up to have a higher, happier baseline, because it was very hard for me to enjoy things in life because I thought that the other shoe was going to drop. I thought that it can't be that way for me, right? Especially growing up as a Black woman in the United States. You're constantly told that there's nothing for you, that you're not the beauty standard, that you're not talented enough, that, you're the token Black person, that you're not educated. Like, that was what I was bombarded with as a child. My first conversation with my mom before I went to school was her reminding me that in the totem pole of society, though she loves me, I'm here and everyone else is above me, and I have to work 3 times hard just to be seen, right? Instilling that overachiever gene in me, when in fact I was enough as is. Whether people see me or not is irrelevant. I had to work on pulling back those layers. I had to work on it being like, no, just because I am Black does not mean I deserve this. Just because I'm a woman does not mean I deserve this. Because I'm queer does not mean that I deserve this. This is not what is true. And I don't want it to be true for me, because I don't want to live a life like that anymore. That life is tiring and exhausting, and it almost killed me, right? And when we get to that space, you're then able to say, okay, I'm witnessing the contrast and I want to switch it up because I'm not about to go through this anymore, right? You get to take on this sense of authority in your life when you challenge negative thinking. And that's so important to be able to do. And it is a practice, and you'll get better at it the more that you flex that muscle. But you need to be able to know that negative thinking is not a lifestyle. Pessimism does not help you. Being a realist doesn't even make any sense, because honestly, what is real to me, it may not be real to you. Like, all the tangible things that we can touch, this is all energy. It's all molecules forming in a certain way. And the more that you study science, you know that a lot of like quantum physicists, they're just like, look, everything is everything and nothing at all. And they firmly believe that. And they have science to back it up, right? So then you start to challenge what you're experiencing in life of like, why do I think that that's real then? Because you're probably embracing a limited belief that has either been passed down to you through your tribe, through your family, through your genetics, or through the people you associate with and have identified with, right? Let me know if this makes sense for anybody. Learning this. Yes, Heather. Yes, I think the universe is teaching me this lesson right now. Rahel, I'm here with you. We don't have to be the salmon swimming upstream like a battle. We don't. We really do not. I used to work so hard and struggle. Heather, I'm right there with you. And I used to wear struggle as like a badge of honor. Like, and then I started looking at other people who were living a softer life. I'm just like, oh, there was no blood, sweat, and tears involved? You don't really care. And it's just like, girl, what does that mean? What does that mean? You gotta go to battle every single day to show that you care? That's what you're trying to promote? And really challenging myself on that too, of like, wow, and if I'm coming from that space, how can people feel safe around me if I'm always judging them? Because I had it hard, I enjoy when I see, especially younger Black women in spaces that we're in, where it's easier for them to get to where I have been. I personally enjoy that, because I know what it felt like to bust my ass and to not be recognized, and to not have any type of validation, to not have any type of help, really and truly. I don't want that for other people. I don't want you to come into my space and feel like I'm judging you because you had what I feel and deem is an easier time in life. I love hearing stories about how life just works out for people. It inspires me and reminds me that I get to also have that as well. Because if you're attracting people in your life that have something that you want, that are living a lifestyle you desire, it's the universe saying, hey, I'm in agreement with you. This would be cute on you. We actually love this vibe and idea. Is this what you want? Do you want it to be easy like this? And then you can clarify, like, oh, I love how, she gets to work from home and that feels really good, and I would like that too. And the universe gives you more and more people, more and more experiences. All of a sudden, the things that you're reading, the things that you're seeing on social media, they start to align, because the universe is like, I want to make sure that exactly what you want, I provide, right? And then we start to realize, like, oh, okay, if I peel back this negative thinking lens, I get to enjoy more of my life. And not more of my life when society tells us to. Not when I retire, right? Not when I take on another title like, becoming a spouse or becoming a parent. But like, as I am right now, I get to enjoy my life. Struggling with the people's reaction to my change. Exactly. Feedback loop. Exactly. Oh, Christine, I'm so excited. Yes, this is a great talk needed. I'm so happy, Louise. This is a wonderful. Thank you, girl. You're preaching. Thank you, Amazon. All the way truth. My sons are reminding me, mommy, we letting that go. Yes. Yeah, this is really powerful. I've been really struggling with this. You've cracked my brain wide open in a good way. I'm so happy to hear this. Still okay, holding my breath. Time to exhale. Exhale. Let go. Thank you for having these uncomfortable conversations and moments of truth, for uprooting, for suffering in our silence. Gloria, that's really what the space is for. You know, that's why I'm choosing to abide by rules so I can continue to have spaces with y'all to have these conversations, because these are things that are not easy to do. These are things that are often not celebrated, because when you start to go with the flow of universe of consciousness, you inevitably do go against the grain of society, right? There are a lot of times where I'm sitting in spaces and I'm realizing that, like, oh, I'm the black sheep. Cool. Like, I'm glad I have the awareness, because there are certain things that I'll hear. I'm just like, I cannot even compute what you're saying. And I'm also in a space now, which I'm so happy to be in. And I don't know if it comes with age or with experience, but I'm also not trying to. Like, I'm not trying to understand that. Like, this does not feel good to my spirit. It does not sit right in my heart. I'm not trying to understand that. I'm also not judging you for it, because, again, I don't know what your journey has to be and what you have to experience for you to become who you need to become, to be a better service to this world. I don't know what that is for you. I just know that what you're experiencing, I can't put into my heart. I don't know if I would even be able to, like, survive that, if I even want to have that type of experience. And I'm glad to be able to have that level of self-confidence and self-trust, because a lot of times people will try to tell you, like, this is how it's always been done. Either you're going to do it or you're not. And for me, I'm not going to do it. And I'm okay with the consequence, because then I can sleep better at night. And that has led to me being blackballed. It has led to me going through a lot of different experiences, losing friends, losing relationships, because I was not willing to fall in line with the negative cycles that they were projecting. I just didn't want that for myself. And it does make you feel a little ostracized at times, a little bit like the outsider. But then I think about the fact that there are other people who are just like me. And instead of me trying to fit into a space where they clearly do not, they clearly are saying, girl, if you're going to come to this space, you can't be yourself. I'm going to find a space where I can be myself. And if I can't find a space, I'm going to create one, because I deserve to be myself. If I didn't need to be myself, I wouldn't be created as I am. I firmly believe that. And I firmly believe that for everybody, for everyone. I don't think you could ever be too much at all. I think you're allowed to be, and I feel you're allowed to be whoever it is that God designed you to be. I want you to be that person. Even if that person does not align with me, that doesn't mean that I don't want that for you. You know what I mean? Like, it's so important for us to get to that heart space, because that's how you really care for yourself. That's how you really care for others, and that's how you really express love in this world. Allowing people to be who they actually are, not who people told them to be, not what their negative cycle tells them to be, but genuinely who they are, right? Embracing the weird. Let's see. Maybe jealousy is tied into pessimism. It definitely is, and so is envy. And it's a misuse of energy as well. I know that there are some practitioners that say you can use envy and jealousy to manifest life. I personally would not suggest that to anybody in my community at all. I mean, yes, energy is energy, but there are just easier ways, y'all. There are just easier ways to go about calling things into your life. But jealousy is literally just saying, this person has something that I want, and I don't think that they deserve it. Right? Because envy is that they have what I want and I wish I had it. Jealousy is, oh, not y'all having what I'm supposed to have this, and I don't think that you're worthy of it. And the truth is, you're projecting, because maybe you yourself don't feel worthy of it, but you don't want to admit it out loud, because your ego doesn't want to admit that, because then that feels vulnerable and soft and tender, and your ego's there to kind of harden, right? And to disassociate or detach. So it's really important that you understand that. Like, when jealousy is coming up, ask yourself, well, what is it that you want? Do you actually want that? Do you want that lifestyle? And also allowing yourself to be like, yeah, it's something that I want. And then the next question will be, do you feel worthy of it? Because if you answer both of those questions yes, you're not a jealous person. You're actually not experiencing jealousy. Maybe you're experiencing inspiration and you thought that it was jealousy, right? Because sometimes we attach the wrong or the misaligned title to things. So, like, for instance, when someone is feeling really anxious, I always ask, are you anxious or are you excited? Because it shows up in the body the exact same way. And it's really more about just how the body perceives the energy as to what it actually is. And quite often people are so excited to the point where they're overwhelmed and then it feels like anxiety. When in fact, you just can't wait to begin this thing. Right? It's the same energy. It's just the title we've assigned to it is different. Yes, for me in the past, it's been that way, but it feels so much better to be happy for others. Joy, and like you said, to wish them the same. Yes, and it's so important to be able to do that comfortably, to be like, you know what? I really am so excited for you. I'm so happy for you. And like genuinely mean it. Because again, if you're being able to witness it in a firsthand experience, like if it's a close friend or maybe somebody that you follow that you really appreciate and they have an experience that you want to have, it's just the universe showing you that it's possible for you too. It's just actually validating your desire. But many of us have not learned to look at it that way. And then we think that it's the universe saying, ha ha, you didn't get this. When in fact, the universe would never, ever speak like that. Because when did the universe become a mean person, you know? I carried an angelite stone in my pocket yesterday while traveling. Flight delayed for 3 hours and had the best experience ever. I love this for you, Joy. Ran into colleagues I hadn't seen in 25 years, and it was given, given access to Delta Sky Room only because I thought I should. Didn't have the physical credentials, but Spirit said didn't. Yes, okay. So we were let in. Ah, yes, I love this. We all have this available to us when you expect it. Things always go my way. Things always go my way. I'm a firm believer of that. Even when I don't get something, I'm like, oh, it must be going my way. Things always, like, I just can't. It has to. I'm the only person living my life. It has to go my way. Like, it is. And my way may not be the way I'm thinking in my mind, right? My way is honestly whatever is best for myself and the highest good of all others. That is my way. That's the way that I believe in, at least. So when things are not panning out the way that I feel like they should, I'm like, okay, universe, I feel like we're doing something really cute here. Okay, I'll be patient. I'll refocus my energy on something else. You know, even if I really had a deep desire for this thing, I'm trusting in the fact that if it did not happen for me the way that I wanted it to, that there must be something more aligned and something better. Right? So important. Yes, find a space or create one. Yes, I deserve to be myself. You do, Sonia. You definitely do. Growth is a part of the negative energy. Yes, leaving it behind. Hi, Bentley. Hi. No, you're fine. You're totally fine. How are you? How you feeling? Yes. Yes, definitely coming in later. Yeah, trusting the flow of everything, right? So important. Let me make sure I went over all the points before we jump into the meditation. Yes. Negative energy and negative thinking can stunt your growth by blocking energy, right? Creating these energy gaps within you and not allowing you to transform. Because you can't transform if your energy is not connected. That's where the stagnant feeling comes from. That's why it's really hard for people to break certain habits because their energy internally is not connected. But once you're able to connect, you're able to release those negative beliefs and those negative thought processes and transform them into something that actually benefits you. Like it will actually benefit you. Okay? Make sure. Many people suffer from negative thinking and never live out their wildest dreams. Yeah, a lot of people who are extremely creative tend to be very negative thinkers because they were told throughout life that their sense of creativity was either weird, it was not going to get them somewhere, or that there was something like absolutely wrong with it, maybe even tabooish, right? So a lot of people who are spiritually inclined, people who are empathic, right? People who want to paint. If you read a lot about like the famous painters that are worshipped and things like that, they were miserable human beings. They lived very tragic and sad lives. Like, and you're just, it's so heartbreaking. I'm just like, wow, you know. One of my favorite artists is Jean-Michel Basquiat, and I watched one of the movies he produced, his only movie he produced, and the way he saw himself in the world, I was just like, oh, I just wish that someone gave you a hug, because wow. And it spoke through his expression of his art, but his art didn't become famous until after he was like damn near dead. Like it was towards the end of his life that he was celebrated, which is also very tragic. But he had a lot of negative self thoughts about who he was as a person. I think about, I can't remember, Degas was also really out of control. I feel like Picasso, I feel like he cut his ear off because he suffered from perfectionism and couldn't get like the idea out that he wanted on the canvas and then mutilated himself. There are so many, like, they lived such heartbreaking lives, and it was because they had this level of creativity within them that was so um, unique and that people just could not accept at all. And they lived and they suffered in that. A lot of creative people suffer. They suffer by, maybe they become a lawyer when really they wanted to become a painter, right? Or they become a doctor when really they just wanted to dance their life, right? And we're told like that's not a real thing. You can't really make any money off of that. You're not going to survive, right? Capitalism rears its ugly head, and then now we're suffering and we're not able to live out our deepest desires because someone else may have tried and didn't succeed and said, I couldn't do it. Why could you do it? And just like, well, how do you know you couldn't do it? How do you know that you can't do something? You have the stories of like, is it Thomas Edison, where I think he tried over 1,000 times or 10,000 times until he got that one thing right. Like, there's a tenacity towards being creative. There's a tenacity towards having a positive mindset, and it's a practice of building it up. And just because it doesn't happen for you right now doesn't mean that it will never happen for you, right? There's a model on Instagram, and I cannot remember her name, but she just started modeling at 70 years old, defying all the odds of everyone when you think about ageism, when you think about colorism, when you think about racism, all these things that she would have been in alignment to not receive that blessing, she is now like world renowned thanks to social media. Social media wasn't around when she was the age to be modeling, right? She had to wait. Same thing with Tabitha Brown. I don't know if you guys know her story, but she had been doing this for 20 something years. Literally cultivating her art, cultivating her desire, going through ups and downs. It wasn't until TikTok was created and her child introduced her to the app that she became a big success. Sometimes the thing that you're looking for hasn't even made it to the world yet. TikTok hadn't made it there 20 years prior to her when she was out here doing audition and things like that. But it didn't let her, she didn't stop, right? She may have had to pivot here and there. She had to go with the ebbs and flows of life. But ultimately, the amount of success that she's having now is because she did not let the negative thinking prevent her from living her wildest dreams. She continued to tap in and tune in. She took pauses when she needed to. She felt heartbreak when she needed to. She pivoted when she needed to, and ultimately was led to this incredible success that is literally mind-blowing at how fluid and effortless it has become for her. But there's a whole 2 decades prior to that nobody knew about. Does that make sense? Yes, I was told all the time that I was too sensitive. Yeah, all the time. I used to be told that like, oh, you're a crybaby. I'm like, first and foremost, I feel emotions. I'm human. And that's how I express my feelings. You can't make me feel bad about crying. Like, I feel for people. I feel for myself. I'm allowed to feel things. I'm not a machine, right? And being able to confidently say that to people, especially in my culture where it's like we don't show tears, especially as Black women, because it's seen as a sign of like weakness. Like, and me actively as a child being like, but this person is hurt. My feelings are hurt, and I need to express them. And until y'all give me better coping mechanisms, the tears are gonna flow, baby. It used to stress my mom out. She was so terrified that I would not be prepared for the world. But honestly, I feel like being able to be a sensitive person allowed me to show up in the world as my best self. Right? I am living in a place that I don't belong to. I can't move just yet. I'm trying to get through until I can move. I want my next place to be the right place, and not knowing the decision is what is the right place for me. Kelly, I would start off with what you're doing already is finding community, right? Because sometimes we can't immediately change our environment, right? But you are doing so. You're showing up in spaces where you're being seen, where you're being honored, where you're being valued and cared for, and you're tapping into the power of gratitude. That will begin to usher in clarity so you know what choices to make. You are literally doing exactly what you need to do. And remember, our physical environment can change. And sometimes when you need that extra like push, because maybe you're sitting in a space and you're just like, oh my God, like, I can't keep looking and being in this space. I feel so uncomfortable. I would encourage you to go out into nature or go to a different part of town. Even if you're just going to a cafe shop just to sit and watch and people watch. And then realize like, oh, I've changed my environment, right? It may not have been a permanent change just yet, but I do have the capability to get up and physically move my body to the best of my ability somewhere else where I feel comfortable, even if it is for a certain amount of hours, right? When I was experiencing being unhoused in my early 20s, it was so sad, right? Of like not having a home to go to and hoping one day I would be able to have one. But I would get myself up. I might spend the day at a friend's house. I might, go to the park when I was in New York City. And even for those few moments, it allowed me to have a different perspective of what life could be for me. That I was not going to always be without a home, right? This is not something that's going to always last me. At some point in time, things will shift, and that level of hope is needed so that you can live the life that you want to live. And gratitude does provide you that baseline, that foundation to have hope. Now I live with my sister in a beautiful house, and I have my own space, and I can go downstairs and literally have my own apartment. My sister has her apartment. We have a tenant on the second floor. We have a garden outside. I get to take my niece and my nephew to and from school. These are things that I did not have 10 years ago. I am so grateful for my home. Some days I wake up, I'm just like, wow, everything in this place belongs to me. I'm so used to living out of a duffel bag for so long. Like things change. Things change. So if you're not where you want to be, take some time to cultivate the energy and the courage to go somewhere else. And not permanently. Again, maybe you don't have the resources to move just yet, but is there a beautiful place near you that you can sit at, a park where you can look at a tree and just take in the fact of like, wow, okay, this is not, I'm not stuck. Even if I gotta go to the same tree every single day, I'm not stuck. It helps. It really does help. Waiting to manifest my healthy living space. I want this for you so much, Kelly, because I understand. I get it. Yes, my mom would say that all the time. Yes, TJ, like Ralph Waldo Emerson said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Yes, yes. And it can feel very difficult at times. But when you find spaces like these, when you are getting the wisdom and resources from different books and podcasts, and you're allowed to continue feeding your mind what it needs to remain healthy, to remain in that frequency, you begin to shift the 3D, right? Because ultimately, what we're experiencing outside of ourselves is what we have within us. And when we can own that and have a level of like authority over that, you begin to cultivate. That's why it's so important to me to meditate. That's why I do EFT, because I know that what I'm experiencing, it starts in here. Whether it's a belief or a perspective that I was aware that I took on or I was unaware that I took on. If I'm seeing something in my life that I do not like and I am not enjoying, I'm thankful for the contrast for presenting it to me so I know it's not what I desire anymore. And I'm doing the internal work. I'm clearing the chakras. I'm blessing myself. I'm praying more. I'm doing the internal work so that way, an internal exploration, so that way I can remind myself, like, this is what it is right now. But even right now is the past. I get to cultivate my future. I get to work hand in hand with God. I get to work hand in hand with the universe. I get to work hand in hand with my ancestors, with my angels, with my spiritual beings that are literally reshaping the entire world for me. I get to work with them. So at some point for me, all of this is irrelevant because I know what I can cultivate. I believe in my power. I believe in my magic. And if I can do that, I feel like I can do pretty much anything. You know? Yes, yes, yes. I don't do well living in apartments and have lived in them. I need my own space. I feel that. Yes, Kelly. Yes, I've lived in basements that I have not. I realize I'm not a basement person at all because I had to live in one. It was not fun. I've had roommates. Realized that may not have been the best experience for me. You have this experience to realize like what is it you really want. I realized I lived with a partner. Realized like ooh, not really enjoying this either. I love living in a community. I love having my sister be downstairs and still being able to come upstairs and have a moment for myself to be in my own energy. But then the moment that I need some family time, I can just bring my behind down 2 flights of steps and I'm right there in the midst of my family. I didn't even know that that's what I wanted. Like the universe gave me something better. I didn't even know that that's what I want. I am so happy, like where I live with my sister, with my niece and my nephew. Like I can't explain to you how happy I am to have them so close. I didn't know I needed that until it presented itself to me. Okay. Let's see. I found a beautiful spot near my house with water, and I go there all the time. Funny thing, I've lived here for 20 years and just found the place. Sometimes you don't even know what's in your own neighborhood. It's so wild. I really needed the water connection. It's so healing to go from there. Goddess Mo, are you a water sign? Because I know that's for me. Like I need to be around water. If I'm not around water, I get really weird. Like I have to be near a body of water at least, if not once a week, definitely within that month. Otherwise, I start to feel really uncomfortable. Like it's so wild. But I'm also a water sign, so that's why I was asking. Saying water is so soothing for me. Yes, yes, yes. Water is all about healing the emotions. It's all about tapping into the spiritual. Earth sign, but spiritual water. Ooh, I love that. Okay, okay. Sign, roommate, fam. Yes, exactly, exactly. Okay, beautiful. We really dive into this conversation, and I completely lost track of time. So let's jump into the meditation really quickly. Okay. The practice for today, if you guys wanted to do it from the magic. Oh my goodness, and they told me to remind you. Yes, if you're able to donate, please donate. You guys kind of already know the spiel. I just want to jump into the meditation right now. But yeah, essentially they're saying to list 10 things about a situation that is hard for you that you can be grateful for. So Kelly, for you, it would be your living situation. Can you write 10 things that you're grateful for? And in you doing that, you're ushering change for you to shift your environment. So maybe it's simply that I have a space to live, right? Maybe it's that it's a nice temperature in my home, or I really like my sheets. Whatever it is, right? Like find 10 things to be grateful for. Use those 10 things to cultivate more in your life. And it'll show you. Because once you can change your perspective to be grateful for the situation that you're in, even if you don't like it, it already has changed. And then you get to move forward in that change. Okay? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. The nature pool is strong now. Just dealing with allergies bad now. Oh man, there's an allergy tea that I use to help. I don't know if you are into like herbalism, but if you ask me in the Lotus Living, I can at least give you the name of it. Okay. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Kelly, I wouldn't be surprised that by the time we're done with this gratitude experience, that you're telling us a completely different story. Even if it's just that your mindset has shifted and you just can feel that something better is on the way, right? Because when we don't feel trapped in our mind and in our body, we get to really feel freedom and liberation in the life that we're living with others. Okay? All right, let's do this meditation. Thank y'all for being so patient. I never expect the chat to go this long, but we let the universe do what the universe does best, and that's surprise us. Okay. Get ready for the meditation just by getting comfortable tuning in. Before delving into exploring misaligned, is this the right one? Yeah, misaligned relationships or environments, right? Just tapping into things that no longer feel good to us, that negative way of thinking. It's essential to establish a foundation of safety. So that's what I want us to do right now. As you're tuning into this meditation, begin to witness your body. And trust that wherever you are in this moment, for the next couple of seconds, the next couple of minutes, you are safe. You are safe. You are safe enough to explore what you're feeling in your body. You are safe enough to explore what you are dreaming of in your mind. Let's continue to ground ourselves and cultivate a sense of safety throughout this practice. Because when we are able to feel safe, we are able to face any negative beliefs, perspectives, or thoughts head on and transform them and remove them from our experience. Find a comfortable position, whether it's lying down or sitting up, and I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze, or in TJ's case, just tune in, just listen. Take a nice deep inhale, breathing into the lower belly, allowing the air to fill up your lungs. And on that exhale, slowly releasing, maybe even with a sigh. Releasing any tension, any stress from your body. And with each breath, sink deeper into this energy of relaxation. Feeling supported. Feeling safe and feeling seen. And when it feels good, bring your awareness to your mind. Notice any thoughts or concerns that may present themselves, and gently release them like clouds passing by. Witness one and lovingly let it float on. Allowing your mind to become calm and centered. Reminding yourself that in this moment, you are protected and you have the ability to create safety within yourself. Let's take a collective inhale, breathing into the lower belly, expanding the lungs into the heart space. And open mouth exhale, release, softening the shoulders, unclenching our jaw. Releasing any tension behind the eyes. Softening into this moment. Focus on your body. Tune into any sensations or discomfort you may be experiencing. And send love and compassion to those areas. Envision a warm, healing light surrounding your body, soothing any tension or pain, and bringing a sense of ease and comfort. Remember that you can transform and you can rewire the energy in your body. You can provide comfort to yourself in this moment and in every moment. As we breathe in on our next inhale, find yourself connecting with your soul or spirit. Feel the presence of your inner wisdom and intuition as it guides you towards what's best for you, for your highest good. Feel that trust you have for yourself within you and your ability to navigate any relationship or situation with love and compassion. And breathe into this moment, filling up the lower belly, maybe expanding that breath to the lower back this time. And as we come into the heart space, we open up, rolling our shoulders back a bit more, letting the heart lead us in this moment. And on that exhale, we release. Finding ourselves at peace in this moment. Let's gently shift our focus to gratitude. Reflect on the things in your life that you may have taken for granted in the past. Maybe it's your health, your job, relationships, or even the simple pleasures like a warm cup of tea or a beautiful sunrise. Give yourself a few moments to acknowledge these things. Let them come up into the mind, into the body, into the spirit. And as you acknowledge them, express gratitude. With each breath, feel a sense of appreciation as you inhale. And on those exhales, thankfulness for all the blessings in your life, big or small. As you continue to breathe deeply, think about a problem or a negative situation that you're currently facing. It could be anything from a disagreement with a loved one to financial stress or work-related challenges. And trust in this moment as you're bringing this up, you are safe enough to face this, to explore it, to navigate it. You are brave and you are brilliant. Now, as you're focusing in on this problem, this negative situation, see if you can find at least 3 things to be grateful for in relation to this experience. Trusting that there's always something to be grateful for, even in the midst of hardship. Give yourself time to feel through these feelings. Allow yourself the space to dive deep and uncover the silver linings, the lessons learned, or the opportunities for growth. And remember, if something feels difficult, use your breath to carry the tension, to move. You are not stagnant, you are not stuck. You are a creator, cultivating a new experience for yourself and whoever else is involved. As you reflect on these things to be grateful for, let that energy of gratitude fill your heart. Feel it expand the heart on that next inhale. The gratefulness for the lesson, for the experience, for the strength, for the compassion. Let it expand your heart, warm your heart. And as you exhale, you release, radiating that gratitude to whoever is around, to whatever is around. Visualize this gratitude transforming the negative energy, the negative thought or situation into positivity and light. Remember that you are an alchemist. You get to transform. You can change anything that you are experiencing. Know that by practicing gratitude, you are shifting your perspective and inviting positive change into your life. You are wielding the power of your own energy to transform your reality and create a brighter, more fulfilling future. Give yourself the next few breaths to soak up the feelings of gratitude and empowerment. Trusting that even in this guided meditation, the short time we spent together, you have laid groundwork. You have planted seeds of change. And at the very least, you have opened your mind up to your ability to shift the perspective that you have towards your problems. Shifting your problems into possibilities. And possibilities are endless. Trusting that you and whoever you call on to in your time of need will co-create a beautiful new reality that no longer has this problem, but instead ushers in wonderful possibilities for you to be at peace in your life. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes or refocus your gaze, carrying this sense of gratitude with you as you move forward in your day. Remember, you have the power to transform any relationship or situation with the magic of gratitude. And so it is. Thank you so much for joining me in this guided meditation. And may you always know that gratitude is with you and that you have the skill set, the talent, the gift, the endurance to transform whatever is no longer serving you. Okay, let me know below how you're feeling, and then we'll jump into this EFT session, okay? Yes, yes. I'm so happy you didn't do this, TJ. Hi, Seeds. How are you? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Michelle. Yay! Great. Thank you for this, Lotus. Thank you for the last few days. Thank you for the last few days. This has been so helpful for me as well. Please do not forget, this is so beneficial to me, being able to share space with you all and to join in on these meditations, because I get to experience them as I'm creating them and writing out the scripts, when I'm saying it to you and recording them, and then when I'm editing them. So it's this continuous practice of gratitude for me that I'm very grateful to be experiencing. Wonderful and grateful. Thank you, Christine. Oh, Lotus, I'm so grateful for what you do. Thank you, Rahel. The journey with you feels transformative. I deeply appreciate that. Feeling infinitely better. Yes, Sonia. This has shifted my mindset tremendously. I love this. Gloria, thank goodness for you. You are a bright light in a sometimes difficult and dim world. Thank you, Gloria. Kelly, thank you. I'm so happy we're feeling good after that meditation, and we're gonna feel even better after this EFT session, okay? So let's jump right into it. For EFT, For those that have not done EFT with me yet, do not worry. I guide you through the entire experience because that's extremely important to me that you do not feel alone, right, in this process. So, with EFT, it is called Emotional Freedom Technique or techniques, and it is simply the art of tapping on ancient acupressure points and using the tapping sensation to activate your meridian pathways, which are energetic highways in the body that help you to process emotion, process energy. And as we're tapping on them, if there are any gaps in our energy that feel like blockages, we begin to close them up. And as we're closing them up, you'll get different sensations. You might start yawning, you might start tearing up or belching, or your temperature might rise or decrease. You might even feel a little tired afterwards because, again, even though it's a very subtle healing modality, it definitely does provide major impact to your well-being in the best way possible. So just keep that in mind as you're tapping in. Before we go over the 9 tapping points, I want to talk about the alternative ways to tap for my sensitive beings because I think it's very important that you feel safe and not overstimulated. So the first way that you would do tapping is the traditional way with just tapping, and it's a light tap. You can use 1 finger, 2 fingers, all the fingers. It doesn't matter which side you're tapping on either. They both activate the meridian pathways. You don't have to worry about it, okay? Now, if you're not going to tap or that feels overstimulating to you, because we are electromagnetic, so it can feel like switching on a light switch, almost like vigorously, and I don't want you to feel like that, right? If you're a sensitive person, if you feel people's emotions, if you're very in tune to energy, here are some alternative ways for you to tune in and tap in. You can start by pulsing, and that's where our fingertips do not leave the body. And we can pulse on these points, right? We can also do a nice circular rub, which is very soothing, especially for harder topics. This actually feels really good, okay? And then if you're super sensitive, then you're going to hover. And you're still doing incredible work for your energy system without touching. This way you can still benefit without being overstimulated. Those are the 4 ways. And the 9 tapping points are the side of hand where my tattoo is. You would begin here. Then we have the top of head where the crown chakra is. We have the start of the brow on either side of your third eye. You would start here. You could do either side at any moment in time. You would trace the eyebrow to the ocular bone that you feel right here at the end of your eyes. It's not your temple. You'll feel the bone. You'll tap here. You'll bring it underneath the eye where the ocular bone still is, and you would tap there lightly. Then underneath the nose, above the top lip, is the other tapping point, the chin crease. Then we have the collarbone. And then we have underneath the arm. That's at the end of your armpit, or where you would wear a bra for those that wear bras. And those are our 9 tapping points. And if you, I'm already feeling it's so funny because whenever I do the tapping points, I do it every day that like it's instant. Like I can feel the vibration. I feel the buzzing in my fingertips. If you have a certain spot that feels really good, for me, it's the collarbone. That's your sweet spot. I want you to stay in your sweet spot. If that feels good for you, trust that your body knows what it needs, okay? And we are going to begin the recording. Please make sure you take a nice sip of water if you can. And if you can't right now, please get water after the session is done. Okay, let's do this. We're gonna hope that this does not capture all of the mowing of the lawn outside. Okay, let's begin. Okay. Relationship reboot, rewiring relationships with gratitude. We're going to start in the side of hand and lightly tap here. Tap, pulse, rub, or hover. And repeat after me. Using your voice to activate the practice is super important because your subconscious mind knows your voice and responds to it almost immediately. Okay? Repeat after me. Even though I may be experiencing challenges in my relationships, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I've been struggling with unhealthy relationships, whether it's to my mind, my body, the situations that I'm in, I choose to cultivate gratitude within me. I'm going to stay inside a hand, even though I may feel stuck in patterns of disharmony. I honor my journey and choose to transform with gratitude. And I'm going to go to the top of the head. I acknowledge the challenges I am facing. I choose to explore the power of gratitude to transform them. Because I know gratitude is a potent force for positive change in my life. Beautiful. We're going to go to the eyebrow. I recognize the areas of my relationships that are unhealthy or unfulfilling. I choose to see these challenges as opportunities for growth. With gratitude, I can shift my perspective and create positive change. Side of eye. I honor my emotions and experiences in these relationships and situations. And I am open to exploring new ways of relating with gratitude as my guide. Gratitude allows me to see the blessings even in difficult situations. You go under the eye. I release any resentment or bitterness I may be holding on to. I allow gratitude to fill my heart, enlighten my spirit. I am so worthy of loving and healthy relationships and situations. Under the nose. I choose to respond to challenging situations with grace and gratitude. I am capable of transforming my relationships with the power of gratitude. Each day, I find new reasons to be thankful for the people, places, and perspectives in my life. Chin. I release any fears or doubts about my ability to create healthy relationships and dynamics. Gratitude empowers me to attract positivity and love into my life. I trust that I am guided towards harmonious and fulfilling connections. Collarbone. I release the need to control or change others. With gratitude, I embrace acceptance and understanding. And I am so grateful for the lessons I learned through every relationship or situation I experience. Then we're going to go underneath the arm. I may have felt stuck in unhealthy relationship patterns or environments, but I deeply and completely love and accept myself. We're going to go to the side of hand. Even though transforming relationships with gratitude may feel challenging, I choose to trust in the process. I may have my doubts, but I choose to cultivate gratitude as a powerful tool for change. Now to the top of the head. I release any resistance towards embracing gratitude in my relationships, in my perspectives, in the places that I'm in. Gratitude is a beacon of light, guiding me towards healing and transformation. I am open to receiving and expressing gratitude in everything that I do, in everyone that I encounter, in anywhere that I go. We're going to go to the brow. Beautiful. I release any past hurts or resentments that hinder my ability to feel grateful. Gratitude allows me to focus on the positive aspects of my relationships and experiences. I am capable of creating harmonious and loving connections. Side by. I choose to see challenges as opportunities for growth. Gratitude empowers me to appreciate the lessons and blessings in every interaction. I am grateful for the abundance of love and support that surrounds me. Under the eye. I release any negative beliefs about myself or my worthiness. I allow gratitude to fill my heart, reminding me of my divine value and worth. I attract loving and supportive relationships and experiences into my life effortlessly. Under the nose. I am thankful for the opportunity to heal and transform my relationships. Gratitude infuses every interaction, creating harmony and understanding. I trust in the power of gratitude to guide me towards the relationships I deserve. And the experiences that are in alignment for me. Chin. I release any fears or doubts about my ability to create healthy connections. Gratitude is my compass, guiding me towards love and fulfillment. I am so deserving of loving, respectful, and fulfilling relationships. And kind and safe experiences. Collarbone. I release the need for validation or approval from others in my relationships. And with gratitude, I embrace my authentic self and attract authentic connections. Then we're going to go underneath the arm. I am so grateful for the abundance of love and joy that flows freely in my relationships, experiences, and environments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then if it feels good, I want you to bring your hands around the body, wrapping yourself in your arms if you can. TJ, not you. Just imagine it. The brain works the same way. And give yourself a nice big squeeze and hug. And on that next inhale, breathing in, reminding yourself that you are allowed to have a positive mindset in any relationship, especially in the relationship to yourself, to your worth, to your source. And that being in this space and letting this be your baseline allows you to call in experiences, environments, and everyone who is in alignment. Nice big exhale, release, softening the arms back into your lap. Taking a big gulp of water because that was very intensive, okay? And letting me know how you feel before we end today's session. And as you guys are doing that, let me remind you that tomorrow live will not be happening, but we will be meeting up in the Lotus Living group, okay? And I'll put that back here again. It's on my Insight Timer page. And we'll be doing the True Thankfulness tapping session together at 7:17. It'll probably only last like 10 minutes, but it's to keep up the momentum. And then day 8 starts on Sunday. Also for Sunday, for anyone that wants to join in beforehand, at 5:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be hosting the weekly spirit hour. And this is for practitioners, for sensitive beings and empaths. We literally just hang out in the morning. We set an intention for the week. We do a card pull and a guided meditation. So that's happening about an hour, 2 hours before we will do day 8. So if you want to join me for both, you're more than welcome to. If you want to join me for one or the other, you're more than welcome to. Again, if you are able to donate, please do, either via the Insight Timer app or the alternative methods. And yes, just let me know how you're feeling before we head out. Please make sure to drink a lot of water. We did a very intensive EFT session, and there's a full moon. I do not want you to feel dysregulated throughout your day, okay? Please drink as much water as you can, preferably with some type of fruit infused into it or chia seeds, so that way it can actually sit in the body and hydrate you, or coconut water if you can drink coconut water, okay? And as you do this, I will do this. Okay, there we go. Let me check everything. I feel rejuvenated, like I took a shower. I love this. Yes, that was deep and powerful. I agree. And I was laughing throughout it because I'm like, the sounds in the back are getting louder and louder. So I'm like, I'm just going to record that one later on because it's so intense that I want to make sure that you're able to listen in and not hear the rumbling. But I appreciate you so much for continuing on throughout the practice. Struggling so much with the relationship with my body. Thank you for this. Oh, I'm so happy, Michelle. Very grateful and thankful for your guidance and practice. Christine, Goddess Mo, TJ. Oh, thank you so much, Joy, for the donation. Thank you for these regal fruits. Oh, I'm so happy and have another amazing day ahead. You too, Gloria. Thank you very much for another beautiful meditation and another powerful EFT experience. Yeah, that one was pretty oof, right? I was just like, oof, man, this is intense. Thank you for sharing your gifts. Thank you for being here with me and sharing in your gifts, Kelly. I'm really excited for your journey. I just have really good feelings about how life is going to transform for you. I don't know why, but I feel like good things are on the horizon for you. Like, I'm so excited. I really can't wait to see the transformation. I just know it to be true. And that's what it's going to be. I'm standing in that. This was good. Everything is good within these sessions. I'm so happy. Thank you, Love, for being such an infusion. I love this, Michelle. Have a great day, Nia. Have an amazing day, Michelle. See ya. I love you all so much. Thank you for staying a little later. I love you. I'll see you on Sunday, but I'll be in the group chat tomorrow, okay? But Sunday, we resume for day 8. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Have a great day and a good Memorial Day weekend for those that are observing, okay? Yes, awesome. Needed it. By the way, Lotus, thank you. I am drinking rosemary and mint combo tea. Is it not good, Terry? Because I just feel like it's so good. I actually want to grab a cup, but I want to drink this first because, again, my headache is gone though. So thank God for EFT. Where do I go for Sunday's early session? I'm an empath. Amazon. If you go to my page, you'll literally see that it says weekly spirit hour. It's already up for you to RSVP to. I love this platform. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, Michelle. Fantastic. Thank you, Terry. Oh, I'm so happy you like that. Beautiful. Love the tapping. Me too, Heather. It really helps so much to relieve any tension in the body and just bring that energy together. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day. No matter what time frame it is, I just hope that you enjoy your day and you remember to lean on gratitude throughout your practice, okay? Gratitude is there for you to transform your life and you have unlimited access to it. You are incredible, you're beautiful, you're brilliant, and I am so blessed to be in your presence. And I can't wait to see you on Sunday. All right? Bye, guys. Bye.